Welcome to Spilling the Beans, the show where I review video games, and, well, that's about it. Today we'll be looking at Overwatch. Game of the year. Game of the schmear. Screw it. This game's good. Really good. So let's talk about why. Let's start off with graphics. This game's graphical style is similar to many 3D animated movies, so much so that it has me wondering if Blizzard's trying to cash in on that market. Now we're moving on to story. Beyond the opening cinematic, Overwatch doesn't really present the player with any story as to why and what you were doing. Instead, it goes the route of many games such as T-Fortress 2, having high-quality animated shorts and comics to expand the lore. This isn't bad, it just means one has to do more research into characters and plot outside the game. I mean, Destiny did this, and look how great that game... Oh, yeah. Now we move on to gameplay, and damn diggity if this isn't where the game shines like a bright little star in a universe void of light. Whew! The gameplay is similar to any class-based shooter, with classes having different abilities, yet what sets this apart from many others is how smooth the gameplay and transitions into these characters feel. Each character is overpowered as hell, which creates a weird balance between everyone, allowing pros and amateurs to play together and not seem like they're completely outclassed by each other. The game's characters are broken down into 4 classes: attack, defense, tanks, and support, with each character having its own unique abilities to set them apart from each other. Characters like MacLeod and Tracer are completely different and have completely different gameplay styles, yet still serve the importance of being an attack character who can take out the other significant players on the other team. You will be using these characters in Overwatch's game modes, which consist of the fairly usual payload, attack and defend, and control the point maps, where in payload, one team tries to push the cart and the other tries to stall for time. Attack and defend, one team has to capture points while the other defends. And finally, capture the point where both teams try to hold an objective until they reach 100%. The only other game mode that they kinda have is a weekly brawl. Now, the only real difference between this and the other game modes is it's a random game mode, but with some additional effects, such as characters having quicker ability regeneration, or some weird stats like you do a lot of damage or get health constant. However, that's about all there is in Overwatch. There isn't a whole lot of game mode. This ends up being the biggest problem with Overwatch, is that there's not enough diversity in game modes to keep me playing. I get bored after a couple rounds, and it ends up being a game that I pick up and play, 30 minutes to an hour a day, maybe try to get a loot box here or there, but after that I just get really bored of the game. I feel like Blizzard could remedy this by adding more varied and interesting game modes, such as a horde mode where you fight with one team to protect some objective from huge waves of enemies. Yet, as of right now, we're looking at a $60 game, $40 if you buy the non-Origins edition on PC, that has 3 game modes and not a whole lot of content to it. Now, it depends what kind of person you are if you want to get this game. If you really like playing online shooters, this could be a great game for you. It's very fun, the characters are all fast and overpowered feeling, with still maintaining some sort of semblance of balance. It could very well be a contender for Game of the Year. However, for me, the lack of game modes, the lack of variety, the lack of any kind of story that is inside the game, or any explanations as to why we're doing what we're doing, it kind of takes it down a notch as making it the penultimate game and not the ultimate game, which a lot of people may have differing opinions on, but that's just how I feel. One of the biggest problems with Overwatch, in my personal opinion, is its loot box system. It's a luck of the draw system that gives you random, non-game influencing cosmetic items such as voices, sprays, player icons, and most importantly, skins. And the problem I have with it is that a lot of the times you're getting whatever they'll give you, and a lot of the times it's garbage. It's common items, it's a bunch of sprays or voice lines nobody's going to ever use, and it really feels as if you spent a lot of your time working for this box in game, you know, like an hour and a half, 2 hours, once you start getting the higher levels to get this box, that you get really nothing out of, and it really just puts a hamper on, you know, me personally wanting to keep playing the game. There's no continual sense of progression. Another problem is that you can get duplicates of things, including skins and even the really rare legendary skins, meaning if you open a box and you get a legendary skin, you're not even guaranteed that's a new skin. And on top of that, you're not even guaranteed that you get a legendary skin, you could possibly get just a pile of coins, which is worth less than, it's worth half of a normal legendary skins. It's an annoying system. I would have rather them just let you earn coins per game and then let you buy whatever you want. I mean, this just makes people spend a lot of money and end up being unhappy because they don't really get what they want. Yeah, it's really one of the bigger problems about the game, and it puts a hamper on how much fun you can have because you're not constantly earning stuff per game. It's over like 8 or 9 games worth of stuff that you finally earn something, and then by the time you even do earn it, it's stuff you don't want. And I feel like that's a really big problem with continual play because they're going to keep adding stuff, and the more stuff they add, the less likely it is you're going to get the skin and the thing that you want. They're really trying to milk this for all the money that they can get, and people are buying it. Look, they are. I bought 2 boxes to see what, you know, if I could get anything decent, and obviously I really didn't. I got some commons and, you know, 1 rare. And throughout my loot boxes that I've opened, you know, which is about 17, I've only got 1 legendary and 1 epic, and the rest were commons and blues, and most of those were just, I only have like 3 skins. It's ridiculous. But that is all luck, and I just do not like that. I honestly would rather me earn the skins, and it would feel better. Yeah, but that's the biggest problem with Overwatch is its, you know, microtransaction loot system. And I don't know what that really says, because that could either be a really good thing or bad thing. It could be a good thing because you see that as a minuscule problem. It could be a bad thing if you like a sense of progression in games, because without the loot system, there's really nothing else in game that keeps you going besides just the gameplay. And that could be enough to keep many people going, as it seems, because this game can be very, very fun at times. However, the game has many good qualities to it, which will capture people for hours and hours upon end, and it's a highly recommended game if you like any kind of class-based shooter, probably the best to date. With that being said, and with all being taken into account, I would have to give the game a solid 8.5 out of 10. If there was a little bit more to it, a little meat on the bones, I would definitely look at a 9.5, 10 out of 10, but as we're sitting right now, it's going to be an 8.5. They could remedy this later, as we know all DLC is going to be free, as well as new characters, and this could add a lot more variety, but unless they add more game modes, I really don't feel like going to get a whole lot of play time out of me. This has been Spilling the Beans, the Overwatch review. If you liked the video, subscribe and check out our other videos.